Hi guys, Bomber here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be looking on how to get to Master in the fastest way. So obviously to get to Master you have to be a good player, and that's pretty obvious, and that comes with experience and practice. But other than that, there are some tools to help you get to Master faster, which is Mobalytics. It's a site where you can see all the meta tier list, the decks which wins the most. So to get your deck, basically to know what to craft to be a good player and have a good deck to get to Master, you can look at the meta tier list. Like for example, right now it's pretty popular and reliable. The Armor Combo, the King of Elusives, and the Azrael Twisted Fate deck. Then you can look at the cards which are in the most popular deck. This is the most popular deck. But you can, if you want to see the highest win rate deck, I suggest to go to Meta Stats. Then we are gonna go into decks. And, basically, most of the stats comes from the tier which are below Master, and you are gonna see some stats which will mislead you, because the wins and the losses comes from a bronze or lower tiers ranks. And so yeah, where players are basically not that experienced, and so they can make mistakes and stuff. So basically the win rate and play rate, mostly the win rate, is a bit inflated. So you want to go to ranks and select Master, so that you see only the stats coming from the Master stats. Then you can rearrange the decks and order them based on win rate, and then you're gonna see that this is currently the highest win rate deck. But you shouldn't be misled, because the play rate is pretty low. There are only 37 matches played, which is still okay, but this basically tells you that it's only probably based on one player, which could be one of the highest win rate players, one of the most skilled one, and so you could probably not be one of those. And probably also knows that the meta right now is playing a lot of it, and he basically came up with a deck for that moment, which was the most win rate, which had the best win rate. But you shouldn't be looking at that when the play rate is so slow, so little, sorry. You are gonna be basically looking at 1% play rate at least. So this version of the Armor Combo is already pretty viable with 70% win rate. It's pretty amazing. More than 100 matches at least. Then we see this version of Bilgewater and Demacia with 68% win rate, which is pretty high still, and at 1% play rate. So yeah, let's see something which has a bit more of a play rate. You see another one at 1%. And then there is this one at 1.2% with more than 200 matches played, so this is pretty accurate. If you basically set them with the play rate going from up to down, you're gonna be seeing that the most played one is still at 2.8%, so there is not that big of a difference. You see, this one is another version of the one that we saw earlier at 2.3. So yeah, you can basically go for this or the win rate. I like it more, but yeah, at least take a look at one which has at least 1% win rate or more than 100 matches played. But 1% play rate is still okay, better. Once you have seen at this, when you are already into the match, that you see that your opponent factions, you can go into regions. And this again is when you are already into the match. For example, let's guess that your opponent is into Bilgewater and Demacia. You can do both. That's kind of strange, but yeah, let's basically see that he's in Bilgewater. You see that there are only 7 archetypes of regions played. Then, for example, he is into Bilgewater Demacia, so you're gonna be looking at this. Also, the play rate is pretty high. Then you're gonna be clicking into the deck. Yeah, you should go to decks. And you're gonna be seeing the deck. You should probably go to the most play rate one. So this is basically the most popular deck. You could see this way. So again, resuming what we just said, your opponent is, for example, into Bilgewater Demacia. You go into factions, regions. You select the factions which is in. Also, you should look at the champions. obviously. Once you are here, you see that the regions has those, and let's say that your opponent also runs Lucian and Misfortune, so you're gonna be taking a look at the most popular deck with those factions and those champions. Then you're gonna be clicking into that, and you're gonna be seeing what you can expect. So you basically know that, for example, on turn 2, if he's at 2 mana, you could expect a Bright Seal Protector or War Chef, or the spells. That's even like better to see, so that you can see that your opponent will have a chance to cast a Ranger Resolve, so that if you are seeing that you're taking a trade where most of your opponent units can block and have 1 health left, if a Ranger Resolve would have been played, and your opponent did like save 1 mana, then you're gonna be pretty much guessing that your opponent has a Ranger Resolve, and you should play around that. Or for example, if you're later on into the game and you should like ponder whether to play a spell or to put another blocker, when you see that your opponent can go for a Relentless Pursuit, you should probably play a blocker instead. Or a riposte when you're attacking. So basically you get the point. You can predict what your opponent is gonna be playing against you, and you can better play around that. Probably those are not so great spells. Probably the Ranger Resolve is okay, but let's for example say that you are against Bilgewater, which you are. You should probably expect a Make It Rain, but then you see at the deck and you actually see that the Make It Rain is not there. So basically, yeah, the removals are more important to be taking a look at. So yeah, basically, like on the first turns, you're gonna be like, I don't want to play 1 health minions, followers, because then the Make It Rain is coming. But then you see at the deck and you actually see that the Make It Rain is not coming. And so, for example, you could probably switch to a more aggressive strategy and play 1 drops with 1 health only, since you know that the Make It Rain is not coming. Obviously, this is gonna be the most popular deck. You could be playing against a player which switch some cards, 1 or 2 cards, and probably be running the Make It Rain. But yeah, obviously, this is the most like common scenario, and this will bump up your win rate by quite a bit. So that's it for this video. Hope you liked it and find it useful. And as always, see ya.